So today I wanted to follow in the footsteps of my Y2K queens, Miss Britney Spears and Paris Hilton. So a really popular style back in the 2000s were printed graphic tees and tank top. I think this was very like McBling era of Y2K, which I specifically remember as trashy white woman with large fake implants and a tramp stamp. Or basically, if you look like you're ready to apply to the reality show Rock of Love with Bret Michaels, that was it. That was the look. So I've been going back and rewatching a lot of the shows and movies that I used to love back in the early 2000s and seeing if they still hold up with my newly full developed prefrontal cortex. And so far I've rewatched Legally Blonde, Jennifer's Body, and Mean Girls. I really want Regina George's t-shirt that says a little bit dramatic because I feel like I could absorb some of her power if I have that shirt. Also, my dad used to call me dramatic all the time when I was living with my parents. Like, I know that you like to stow away your emotions until they fester into resentment and mental illness, but I'm a crybaby, please let me be. So most of these shirts are printed on these rib knit tank tops or baby tees. And these are super affordable and really easy to find at like your local Walmart. And I got mine in the girls section, but they also have packs of those like Fruit of the Loom tank tops, you know what I'm talking about? So here's the girls tank tops, they look like that. So yeah, the tank tops were about $3. And then I also got like one baby tee. It's really soft. It's about $5. This is the one that I got. So I'm going to give you guys two different methods for those of you who have a Cricut and those who do not. And no, not this type of Cricut. Not this type of Cricut either. Side note, if Jiminy Cricket was a live action and this nasty little bug was whispering sweet nothings into my ear telling me right from wrong, I would simply squish him and turn to a life of degeneracy because get out of my ear. If you do have a Cricut, you're going to need some iron-on in pink, black, and red. If you don't have a Cricut, you're going to need some lettered stencils. And if you do have a Cricut, you can obviously make your own stencils with this. You can get it from Michaels. And most importantly, you're going to need this fabric painting medium because you can paint on the shirt all you want, but it's not going to stick. This stuff will make it stay. And you can buy fabric paint, but I wouldn't recommend it. It's so much cheaper, especially if you already have acrylic paints, to just buy a little bottle of fabric medium. And you can have any color you want. And this is what the tank tops look like on me before I absolutely defiled them with the power of arts and crafts. And then we're going to measure how big we want this design to be on our shirt. And since I am voiceover Merrily, aka Merrily from the future, I have some tips for you. Now let's give you a little sneak peek. So this is the final product of one of the shirts that I'm going to make. What does the shirt say? I don't know. Does it say milk rain? Mildew train? The point is that these shirts are so stretched out that the words are up to interpretation, and we cannot risk that. So I made my design about 9 inches long. I would suggest that you make it about 4 or 5. And now I'm going to leave it to my Jiminy Cricket to do all the work and just let my little robot do all the cutting. And does it really count as a DIY video if I make the robot do all the work? Something for the robot scholars to reflect upon in the future. And once everything is all cut out, we're going to preheat the shirt with our iron. And I know a lot of you are just like me, and you don't like to preheat the oven, and you just stick the cookie batter in there, and then 7 minutes later wonder why everything is undercooked and then eat the raw egg cookie dough. But it's fine when it's cookie dough because it's delicious. But when it comes to this shirt, it is not the case. And this is what it looks like when you don't preheat the shirt. And I know that if I threw this shirt in the wash or just wore it out one time, the letters would fall off and then I would just be left with a shirt that says a gel. And now we're going to move on to some customizations. And this rotary cutter is one of the best things that I've ever purchased for my sewing. And you see how it's pink and has a stupid little heart on it? Yeah, I paid the pink tax on this. Damn it, Jeffrey Bezos. I will pay an extra 30 cents for it to be pink. And lastly, for our Regina George shirt, I'm going to add these McSausage crystals onto the collar using E6000 for the glue. And if you ever need to glue anything onto anything, E6000 will always be the answer. Unless you're talking about your eyelashes. Now let's move on to the stencil part of the DIY. I'm going to take my acrylic paint and my fabric painting medium, and the ratio will be 2:1. Now some people like to measure with ounces, some people like to use milliliters. I just like to use my eyeballs. Now eyeball is a nationally recommended and accredited unit of measurement on my channel. So I hope you guys learned how to convert. So anyways, now I'm trying my stencil. I would definitely suggest not using too much paint and being really careful around these edges because it can get really globby and get under the stencil. And when it gets globby like that, it kind of gives off this vibe of like, I painted this with my ex-boyfriend's coagulated blood. And considering the message, it's a little bit incriminating. So if you don't want to look like a homicidal maniac, I would definitely suggest getting a thin brush and cleaning up the edges.
My friends on the internet talk to me more than my real ones do. I never seem to be good enough for him or her or even you. They say it'll always get better, but I had no one to help me through. At the end, always a congratulations, but nowhere when I needed you. Call you a penny in the freezer, cause you're two-faced and stone cold. I'm sick of wasting all my time worried about you, it's getting old. I'm done with all these fake friends, I don't have time to pretend that you care about me when you don't. You treat me like I'm less than, so tell all of your new friends how I am the worst, put on a show. I can't believe I got to write 20 songs about you to make you just have a clue all the shit you put me through.
Okay, making these tank tops is my new favorite obsession, and if there's a phrase or word that you want me to put on a tank top or a baby tee, write it in the comments. I will make it, and I will post it on Instagram. So, follow me there. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you next week, hopefully. Bye!
Tired of trying just for you to leave. I was so sad just staring at my phone. Now I'm glad you're gone, I'd rather be alone. So tell me what you want, tell me what